Welcome back. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline, electricity crisis, government offers national grid to investors. 7 million meters shortfall being tackled, says minister. First Lady backs women farmers with 69.9 million per state. Tinubu fully engaged in governance despite being away, says presidency. Why Ponzi schemes thrive by experts. Greed is chief driver. 1.9 million candidates for maiden CB WASSCE. 574 schools disqualified. Eastern Rail line likely ready before 2027, says NRC MD. Governors pay condolence visits to Plateau over killings. Troops hit terrorists in Borno, Plateau, Kaduna, and others. Emami accuses Delta governor or government of boundary manipulation. Natasha's family house attacked. Let me take the major headline. Okay. So they said to end the frequent collapse of the national grid, which is described as old and weak, the federal government has unbundled and offered it for privatization. So the Minister of Power, Adebayo, was the one who said this yesterday while reviewing the government's activity in the electricity sector. He spoke during the appearance at the 2025 Ministerial Press Briefing Series at the Radio House in Abuja. And they said the program was moderated by Minister of Information and National Orientation, that's Mohammed Idris. And he explained that there is a 7 million consumer meter shortfall, which the government is bridging with a planned program. He said no fewer than 80 million Nigerians out of an estimated 240 million population lack access to electricity. And according to him, the government has opened talks with some investors who have indicated interest in the operation in some aspects of the grid before the end of the year. He said, we have various offers from private investors. The national grid is owned 100% by the government. But I can tell you with other ministries competing for funds, we cannot fund the national grid alone. It is an expanded national grid. It is too large, and there are some dedicated lines in which some private investors have expressed interest. So he says that privatizing the sector would go a long way to helping us get the electricity. There was also something very important here that they talked about. It had to do with our meters. So he said the launch of the presidential metering initiative is backed by 700 billion allocation, and government targets the acquisition of 1.1 million meters by year end. So hopefully more people will have access to the prepaid meters, for better electricity. So let's see how this privatization talks will go. If anything we need to do to just make sure that we have power in the country.
That's what every other thing sits on. This one I have the can donate relief materials according to the Plateau incident, and it says that the Christian Association of Nigeria can donated relief materials to victims of attack in Boko's Plateau. Its vice president, Reverend Stephen Panya Baba, presented the items yesterday. Gunmen on April 2 attacked Horti, Josho, Dafo, and other communities in Manguna district of the locality. The relief materials include building materials, foodstuff, clothing, toiletries, amongst others. And this is a laudable one for CAN, because when things happen and they don't turn up, we're quick to raise an eyebrow to say, what is the Christian Association doing, or what is the Islam Association doing? So, I mean, it's a good one.
Okay, so I have the story of the terrorists happening in Borno, Plateau, and Kaduna. He said terrorists suffered a heavy blow from military onslaughts in the past week, with many of them killed. As we all know, many parts of the north have been reeling with from an upsurge in terrorist activities. But they said insurgents had attacked 4 military formations in Borno State and dislodged troops, with many civilians and security agents killed. They said the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus, said troops in collaboration with other security agencies and hybrid forces recorded successes in neutralizing several insurgents. They also rescued abducted persons, arrested insurgents, and recovered arms and ammunition, as well as stolen crude oil in the south-south. They said they were able to seize AK-47 rifles, then guns, PKT barrels, and assorted rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition. And they said they rescued 17 kidnapped victims. And then they said the terrorist kingpin, that's Bello Kaura, was also neutralized in an air interdiction. And they said that they were able to, that 2 students of the Federal University of Dusama were freed. And they came to say that they also recovered motorcycles, Russell cows, they are still trying to, they said troops acting on credible intelligence arrested 13 suspected terrorists and a gun runner in Giwa, Chikun local government areas of Kaduna State and Gusau. They're just giving us updates on what they've done so far. We still need them to do more because it's still, I don't know when this terrorism thing is going to end.
God help us.
People are funding it, obviously. People are making money out of it. Yes, okay, so the reconstruction of the Eastern Railway line by the federal government is possible before 2027. This was said by the managing director and chief executive officer, Mr. Kayode Opife, yesterday, where he said that this rail corridor was once the best and vibrant rail corridor, and that they are determined to ensuring the corridor was back to working again and working effectively. His host, Governor Alex Oti, called speedy completion of the Southeast Rail project. Governor Oti, who noted the critical role of the transportation sector in economic development, described transportation as one of the most important sectors of the economy. They said that they hope that this would happen or be ready before 2027, but they can only achieve this based on the weather and if funds are released. But this would be amazing because it will also help trade and commerce. Yeah. It will just be fantastic because it just reminds me of like when you watch the documentaries of how things used to happen before the war. It would be fantastic if that works. Yeah.
Trade and commerce, very important. Okay, now Daily Sun, major headline: fresh tension in Plateau. Herdsmen allege poisoning of cows in Bassa. Government debunks claim governors visit Muftuang over killings. Cybex Sec talks tough, vows to punish promoters. While Nigeria orders remain poor, additional AFDB boss. Buyers frustrated as Dangote's refinery petrol pump price reduction yet to take off. 1.9 million candidates to write May-June 2025 WASSCE. 574 sanctioned schools not present students. Tinubu returns after Easter break, says presidency. Reps, why we are probing grants, bailout funds to MDAs and others. Let's take a story and then we'll do a short break. Who's ready to go? Son.
Okay. So I have the story of the Adeleke, Makinde and Oyo Osun border tensions. They said the Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, says he has held talks with his, that's the Oyo governor of Oyo State, Sheyi Makinde, as part of efforts to peacefully resolve the boundary disputes between the two states. They said an alarm was raised by the Oluwo of Iwo, Oba Abdurrashid Akambi over violent clashes between residents of Okeoba in Iwo and the neighboring communities in Legelu local government area. So they also said that he said that the land grabbers from Legelu are attacking residents of several villages in that Iwo. He mentioned a lot of the local towns, Okunajo, Ele, lots of them there.
Oh, don't mention.
Yeah, so and they said that they said that the Adeleke and Makinde have met and they have decided that they are going to address the issue. So both leaders have agreed on the framework for peaceful engagement and resolution of all outstanding concerns, including direct involvement of their deputies in the peace process. So they also said that they're going to resolve on immediate actions, which include directing the deputy governors of both states to meet and visit the affected areas. Yeah. And let's see how that will pan out.
All right, we'll take a breather here. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.